We were lied to about RJ Barrett because once the Toronto Raptors acquired him from the New York Knicks, there were a bunch of Knicks fans flooding our comment sections, flooding Raptor spaces and just saying, hey, enjoy RJ. He can't shoot. He doesn't pass. He's plateaued. He doesn't play defense. Yada, yada, yada. Because tonight against the Golden State Warriors, and honestly his entire tenure with the Toronto Raptors, it looks like he is turning a corner. He is breaking out for this team, and it's culminated with just a ridiculous performance tonight against Golden State, where RJ came out with 37 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and only 36 minutes of action. Did most of his work in the first half. Remarkably efficient shooting, going 5 of 8 from behind the three-point line, and we are going to be diving to everything in this game and everything like that, but I want to start off by saying RJ Barrett, holy smokes, man. This guy was a major just acquisition for the Toronto Raptors. I mean, the Raptors offense has completely turned around. We went from 27th before the trade occurred to being 5th since we've got Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. That was the number that was floated out on the broadcast. So this, even from the eye test, we can see it directly, how much free flowing, how much more space there is out there on the court with IQ and RJ now implemented in this group. It has bolstered our bench, even though there are still some holes that we need to fill. I mean, having Gary now back healthy in this game, at least tonight, Dennis Schroeder coming off the pine, Boucher getting extended run. I mean, we have a bench, we have a scoring sort of tandem in our backcourt in the starting lineup. Obviously, Scotty Barnes struggled in this game tonight, but he's been electrifying this season. And then Pascal Siakam getting buckets, and even Pirtle looks rejuvenized, just playing out there, motivated on the defensive end. Positioning is on another level. Obviously, could get a few more rebounds here and there, but I don't think it's just on him in terms of the rebounding woes for the Toronto Raptors at points, especially over the past 2 games. But all credit, all shout outs, let's just throw it out there. The Scotty Barnes award tonight. Scotty Barnes wasn't that great in this one, so it's going to RJ Barrett, who is just the elite pinnacle of what we could expect from RJ, because he was driving those lanes, and somehow, someway, because it looks unorthodox. It looks like, sometimes he's ramming into a brick wall, but he finds a way with not only his strength, not only his quick first step, that athleticism he has, but probably the most elite part of RJ Barrett's game is his body control, because you can have all that. You can have the insane sort of physique, even though he's not crazy in terms of those along those lines, but it's almost a Jimmy Butler-esque control of his body when he drives into that lane, and it, one, allows him to obviously finish through contact and get the bucket in, but 2, when you're not sort of flailing all over the court, fading away from contact, being afraid of it, then you can take those hits. You're driving straight into traffic, and it allows RJ Barrett to get a lot of free throws. And he's an awesome free throw shooter. Tonight, RJ Barrett had 8 free throws in this game, went 6 of 8 from the free throw line, and continuously, because the Toronto Raptors, again, one of the biggest critiques of Pascal Siakam's game is that he never really gets the easy buckets. Every sort of shot he sort of makes, he works for a lot, whereas RJ Barrett can just catch it on the wing, explode to that rim, and get to the free throw line pretty easily. He can get right to the basket and have one little step, throw a little pump fake. His footwork seems really improved from previous eras we've seen of RJ Barrett with the New York Knicks. I mean, he had a couple moments in this one where he's driving in full speed. The players are trained to keep RJ Barrett on his right hand, so he drives with the right, goes in, throws up a little pump, finds a way to get back to the left, and finishes right at the basket. I mean, holy smokes, RJ Barrett finishing around the bucket when the Raptors, and this is one thing that I've noticed over the past 4 games, and the Raptors have been awesome in the past 4 games since this trade has occurred, even though we lost to the Sacramento Kings a couple days ago. But when they're sort of attacking the rim, they are in attack mode. When they are trying to get to the basket, and then that doesn't mean not taking any threes, because when you're attacking, you can make those kickouts and everything like that. But when they're attacking the rim, and it specifically starts with RJ Barrett, not even just being in more of attack mode, but just getting the basketball. Because I found there are some moments over the past 4 games where RJ can get floated to the corner a little bit too much and just not have the ball in his hands for an extended period of time. When RJ has that basketball in his hands and he is attacking that basket, this Raptors team gets unlocked because Scotty's getting cleaner open threes, Pascal's getting open threes, and frankly, Pascal's 3-point percentages have continued to increase since this trade because he's getting better looks, he's getting better opportunities, and tonight went 2 or 3 from the 3-point line, 16 points, didn't need too many shots because, again, other people were cooking. I mean, it's electrifying. And the last thing, because I want to talk about everyone in this game, but RJ Barrett, his passing is really underrated. From day one, with the Toronto Raptors, obviously, watching these games and analyzing our players, he is doing a really good job. Sure, every now and then he's going to turn over the basketball. Driving into traffic like that, it will warrant some bad shots. And even though he does have a reliance on his left hand, so there is that. There are moments where it does look ugly on some RJ Barrett drives. But with that said, he is making a lot of great decisions out there when the extra defender's there. He is firing, throwing some fireballs across the court, to corner shooters, to players on the open three, which leads to more drives, which leads to more swings. I mean, he had 6 assists in this game, but it could have been a lot more if they included the hockey assists in this one. It's because he's getting paint touches, and then it's creating plays for others. So, RJ Barrett, shout out to this man. Show some love to the Canadian out there. What a steal for the Toronto Raptors there. I know that word's been getting thrown around a lot, but a guy that we thought may have been starting to get phased out following this trade seemed like he bounced back in this one. That's obviously the star boy Gary Trent Jr., and I brought it up earlier about how the bench has looked a lot better for the Toronto Raptors since this trade has gone down, but one guy that still hasn't really come to his own just yet, consistently has been Gary Trent Jr., who is a guy that should be a really important piece to this team, given his three-point shooting, how well these spark plugs can be for teams coming off the bench. And Gary tonight looked the most engaged I've seen him all season. And 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line. So not even the craziest efficiency, but had 14 points, but looked confident out there on the offensive end and really just was electric on the defensive end. He was a spark plug out there. And then not really last season, but the season prior, Gary Trent Jr. was sort of making some comments about how he wanted to be a DPOY candidate, be up there in terms of the league's best on-ball defenders and stuff. And then that has sort of faded away into the background to where Gary has reverted back to being a little bit lethargic. He's not horrible by any means, but not the player he was a couple seasons ago, being locked in on that end of the floor. Well, Gary in this one, at least, he did a really good job. And again, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Klay was pretty good. I mean, if you look at the stats in this game, Klay Thompson, pretty good. 5 of 7 from the three-point line, 25 points, especially in that third one on a big run. Curry was completely cold. It's probably one of the worst Steph Curry games I've ever seen. Missing some shots. There were a lot of tough shots that he had to take, but again, Steph Curry going 0 for 9 from the three-point line. That's a rare occasion, so we do have to take that into account. But the Toronto Raptors slaughtered the Golden State Warriors in this one, so even if Curry hit a few more shots, the Raptors were taking this win. But I thought Gary Trent Jr. did a good job, specifically, again, IQ, RJ, they've been really good on the defensive end, starting off, but I thought Gary, especially coming off the bench, did a really good job at just tagging these sort of wings that the Golden State Warriors had out there on the court, getting a hand up on shooters and poking some balls loose. And I don't know how many steals he had in this one. Did he even have any? Gary Trent Jr. He had 1 steal. He had a lot of deflections in this game. So, 1 block as well. Really impressed with Gary Trent Jr. And then obviously off the bench, Chris Boucher's proving why he's deserved minutes this entire season. Only 16 minutes in this one as well. Went 7 of 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from behind the three-point line, 17 and 9. 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. He's got a little bit of a handle here now, too. And I'm not going to call Chris Boucher as someone with a bag, dribbling the basketball, but he's making some straight line drives. Chris Boucher is a guy that deserves more minutes, and particularly, I think Darko Rajakovic has done a really good job integrating these new players in the lineups, making quick substitutions. I kind of like that for this team because, it keeps people fresh, it keeps people engaged, it keeps people moving, but couple criticisms on Darko, just, from outside looking in, is one, I think Boucher obviously needs more minutes, particularly when the Raptors are struggling getting some rebounds. Boucher at the 4 is an elite rebounder, going out there, in the front lines. To be out there with Jakob Poeltl could be big, and he's spacing the floors of late now, so you're not losing that sort of floor spacing. That's one thing I'd say to criticize Darko a little bit. Give Boucher some more run, and then also there's a few moments as well where Darko could be calling timeouts when other teams are going on runs, and I always sort of point to Eric Spoelstra with the Miami Heat. Frustrates other teams because you hit like 2 shots and automatically Eric Spoelstra calls the timeout. I think there are moments, especially against a team like Golden State, who can get hot in a hurry. A couple baskets happen, and Darko is just a couple possessions late in terms of calling those timeouts. So those are my couple criticisms on Darko, but it's this team is like really good. We're moving that basketball really well, attacking the rim, doing some right things out there. So this team is great. And even though Dennis Schroeder's getting a lot of run, and Schroeder was better in the second half, hit some tough middies. Had a 6 of 10 from the field, 13 points, 4 assists for Schroeder. But I like that Darko kept him in there when the lead was going, because Quickly had a great first half. Didn't take a lot of shots, missed a few threes, but 9 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, only 26 minutes. Don't take this as Quickly sort of getting benched. Take this as the Raptors absolutely owned the second half of this game, and then Schroeder was playing well, trying to get back into a bit of a rhythm, so Quickly wasn't really needed. So it's I just really love what this Raptors team has done. I really like how we're currently constructed, the confidence we're playing with, the speed at this game is happening at right now. I just love it. So let me know what you guys think about this Toronto Raptors win. Big stuff for the squad, but you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.